Awesome. This is the Crystalia fan club. No, I'm just we just put you right on that. Tell me when you're ready. All right, perfect. Hey, welcome to another episode of Peaked. We are back after a very long break. JP, I spilled this all over myself. JP, it feels good to be here. Great to see you. How you doing, dog?
Good, man. I'm glad to be fucking back and alive. I had COVID, everybody.
Yeah, but you also... Oh no! I almost licked. I almost licked it on camera. I almost licked the whole fucking bottle. Just.
The rest of that clip is on Patreon.
Well, also, let's do a quick recap. Before we took a break, you had Hall of Flowers, and then Emerald Cup, and then I had the Netflix thing, the festival that was crazy, and then you got sick. Yeah. And then I'm going to Cabo next week. Yeah, it was like, one after another, just dumb shit.
It's good to be back, though.
Yeah, it feels great to be back. We got a great guest. We have good questions. We have a lot more fucking product and some amazing rosin. But let's go ahead and introduce today's guest. I don't want to fuck up your last name, so I'm going to do my best. Let's see if I do it. Guys, nice round of applause for Christina Galston.
Galston.
Damn it.
I appreciate you.
Did I throw a V in there? And there was no V?
Galston? It's Galston.
Very, very funny comic. You're in here now.
I am here. I moved here in October.
And you started in
New York.
Yes, because I remember that's where I started seeing like you pop up on like Instagram and just other people's radar. Yeah. And then I remember I saw you at Kill Tony.
That's when we first met.
Yeah, that was when we first met. Yeah.
And then Kill Tony was so fun.
Yeah, and you also killed it too. You're just
it's so nerve-wracking. You know what I mean? Because you're like, damn, they're going to come for you, girl. Like, they're really going to come for you. And they're like ruthless, but they're
not nice people. No, they're great. There's a minute of it.
It was fun.
But yeah, no, man, a big fan. I mean, we've gotten to know each other here in Los Angeles. You crushed it at the roast battles when you popped in. And then you also did Culture War.
Culture Court. That was so fun.
Was hilarious.
Yo, that was so fun.
You as a judge on that was so great.
It was just fun as fuck.
I still haven't gone. What is the show?
It's so hard to describe. It is very like it's roast battle-esque in the sense that it feels like a circus and it's just complete chaos but very organized. Much, yeah. And then Matt Lockwood and Keith Johnson are the judges, and they take court cases and they're all like just dumb, like just stupid like beefs in the comedy scene.
Yeah, I think the one I saw was like Luke Schwartz versus like the state of LA comedy,
and it was hysterical because the whole thing was that Luke Schwartz is a gatekeeper at the store because he's been there for such a long time,
right?
And he may or may not do stuff with the open mic list, but it was so great because even though it was such an like legit thing to complain about, and people showed up and had gripes because these are people that have been here for like years.
It's like a town hall meeting.
Yeah, and it was like we're all just shitting on Luke because he's fun to shit on, but him and his defense had some of the best defenses for it. Yeah, to where it was so funny that it just didn't even matter.
It really didn't.
Yeah,
we should have him on the podcast sometime.
Who, Luke? Yeah. I mean, maybe. Didn't we have him on here once? Luke came and did one of the episodes, and then we had to.
We just never released it.
Love that. It was formatted wrong, so we just fucking couldn't.
No, but don't tell him that. Let him think it was.
No, we didn't know. We just
let him think it was him.
That's for
Anytime he brings it up, we just walk away.
He just calls me PJ now.
Yeah, I don't really know him personally, but doing that show, I was like, yeah, I could hate this guy. I could start hating him right fucking now if that's what y'all want. Yeah, fuck this guy. I hate him.
Clipping it. That's so funny. Yeah, Luke is very, he's very Luke about things, and it's great. And Luke is like the dad that like, I remember there was one time we were at the store and it was after like cool things that happened, like in my career. And I remember one day Luke came up to me, he was shit faced, and he was like, "You're really funny now, and I'm really proud of you, blah, blah." And I was like, this is like a weird dad moment of like, my drunk dad telling me like how proud he is. And I'm like,
tonight I'm going to take a break from kicking your ass. I'm going to give you a little compliment, but I'm probably still going to kick your ass just to even it out.
Not going to hit you this hard. Yeah, dude, it was hilarious. Yeah, but that's a real fun show. It's cool to see the shows that are starting to come up at the store now.
Yeah, I used to joke about this in New York where it would be like a lot of these theme shows, I think one of them was like, someone's going to draw you while you do stand up. And it was like, God damn, ain't stand up like stressful enough? Fuck. Like, can't we just do stand up?
Yeah. And it's weird to see like, cause there's certain theme shows that are just like, what the fuck is this? You know what I mean? And then there's other theme shows that it's like, it's very much testing your comedic abilities.
For sure.
And I think that is much different than like, I don't know, going up on stage and having to jerk off while you tell your jokes. Some of the weird shit I've seen out of New York, like the funny New York comics, they smash. Like the best of the best out there, even though. And then there's like, you know, because we have like weird fucking LA comics that are like the East Siders that we all shit on. And then to see like the New York versions of that where you're just like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. Y'all be letting them do this shit?
Yeah, man.
Like, I can't believe y'all let them do this shit.
It's crazy.
Yeah, we let them do whatever the fuck they want.
It is pretty wild, man. There was are there any like people that you've seen that you were just like, what the fuck is this?
No, I can't. I mean, doing stand up so long, you're just kind of like, when I first got here, like, I think 5 years ago, I was here 5 or 6 years ago. And I was surprised that like at all the mics, like homeless people could just come up and do a mic.
Yeah, that's also the one thing that LA has is.
That was one thing that I was very much security. I was like, hey, y'all want me to, do y'all need me to? No, they're like, no, you have to
you're like,
let
no,
them do their
Steve.
thing.
He does like a good 5 minutes. And then,
Like
you know.
he
for the drink
is
tickets.
pissing on the floor right now.
You're like, yeah, that's his closer. You're like, he needs this. Oh, man. Yeah, it is. Yeah, especially the mics here in Los Angeles. Like, it always makes me laugh when I see people go to mics and they complain about the things they hear at the mics. And I'm just like,
yeah.
Yeah, because they're crazy people.
Yeah.
Like, you're at an open mic.
Anytime you're not using the mic to your advantage, like just do your shit and get the fuck out of there. I mean, if you want to troll, I guess that's cool too. But for you to actually be upset and be like, I mean, what are these mics coming to? They're micing. They're mics.
What is this man saying about women? You're like, that's a homeless guy pissing on the stage.
Exactly. He's pay him no mind, like you usually do.
But you've liked just being in Los Angeles and the transition so far?
I fucking hated it at first. I'll be honest. That was not. I came here to be on a little trip, and then I got talked into staying, and then I was like, okay. I mean, I guess I could. Yeah, sure. Fuck it. Let's do LA. And I feel like LA is different than New York. Cause like when you're in New York, it's like right away in New York, it's like, yeah, you want to make it here, kid? Well, I'm going to fuck you up.
Yeah.
And then LA's like, oh my God, welcome.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. and then it's like stab. Like LA fucking hates you. So I was getting like a lot of, I don't know, I worked in Culver City too. So I would have like an hour fucking drive to work and back home. Yeah, dude. And I was like damn near pissing on myself every time I would get home. Like,
and that drive is long enough to make you reconsider everything.
yeah, I would be in the car. I would be in the car and I would just finally stop the car in front of my apartment. I got to pee so bad and I'd just be like, like I'm just crying because the fucking traffic has stressed me the fuck out.
It's the worst.
It's crazy. I drove in Puerto Rico. I drove in New York. They don't have nothing on the way these people drive over here. This is crazy.
Yeah, New York seems it was just a lot of stop and go, right? But Los Angeles has like the crazy driving.
Everybody has their own, like, Los Angeles has its own rules, and then every car and person has their own motherfucking rules. And you'll never learn all the rules.
No. And sometimes you get shot.
Yeah. That's great.
That was the thing. My mom called me when I think there was a guy who got shot on the freeway, and my mom was like, stop taking freeways.
Done.
I was like, all right, Mom.
I like to take them for fun.
Yeah. All right, so we'll go ahead and get into the first one. Do you dab often? Are you big?
I haven't dabbed in a while.
You haven't dabbed in a while? All right, cool. So this is, when you normally dab, do you use like a rig and a blowtorch?
Yeah, well, my dad, I usually would dab with my dad. He lives in like the mountains out here, like in like, what is that called?
North, like Humboldt? Like
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so he makes his own resin and everything like that. But he's also like the kind of dude that like he will never go to a place and buy a pipe. He's this guy, he like walks into a smoke shop and he's like, hey guys, you got any broken glass? He likes to make his own shit, you know what I mean? So it's so embarrassing. It's so fucking embarrassing. We go to a smoke shop, he'll look around and be like, anything broken back there that you guys don't want? Because I make my own shit. And then you see his shit and it's like as big as something. He's like, yeah, here it is. And it's like car parts on it. Like it's like gotta be like a fucking chainsaw. You know what I mean? Like start it up.
Awesome. So your dad is from Humboldt, or you just moved up there?
No, he's been over there like over 10 years. He left when I was like a kid. Again? No. But seriously, he did. He went and moved over there. And I remember like just growing up, he always smoked weed. He was always very passionate about it. And I remember him being like, yeah, I found a loophole. California's great for weed and all this stuff. And so he's really been, you know, working on it. I mean, when he first told me he was going to be a horticulturist, I was like, yeah, all right. I don't know what the fuck that is, like, whatever. But he's really good at it, and he makes this, like, bomb wax. Like, it's, like, really, really, really great.
Wow, that's so fucking awesome. Well, yeah, welcome. I feel like you're in the right spot then.
Yeah, the princess of pot over here.
So this is the PUFFCO. It's basically an electronic dab rig. It's very easy to use. It's light. You're not going to be blown out of your mind, but you will get very stoned.
So we have to...
You just double tap. I just want to double check. Is her mic good?
Yeah, I just had to turn it up all the way.
Oh, sorry.
Okay,
Yeah, it's like near my pussy, so we're gonna be good if I queef or anything, right? I get in very close to my pussy, so.
Yeah.
This is the ASMR episode.
Did I do it wrong?
It'll vibrate again. Yeah,
Oh, when it's ready.
Or does it open? Did you? Okay, they're good.
Yeah. Oh,
Because
damn.
sometimes if you don't leave the top open, you just be sucking air.
Oh, that's nice.
Ooh.
Oh, should taste it.
Oof. So which one's give us a little breakdown?
This one is it's been on the show quite a bit. It's one of our favorites. It's pink lemonade. It's one of the few sativas we see around here. But it's a purple kush and lemon skunk. It really has that kind of like lemon citrus flavor up front. And it really does have kind of that almost like grapefruit tartness as well. Like you would get from like a pink lemonade. And then I also noticed too, like with that guy, like super candy, but then it also like you'll taste oranges or taste that kind of citrus note for the next 5 minutes while we're talking.
Yeah, definitely different than my dad's wax that tastes like dirt and shit. But it does get you like
real bomb.
high as fuck. And my dad said it'll make you cough blood, but it'll get you high as fuck. But it's definitely... So he came... When I did my first Comedy Central, I was in Clusterfest.
I saw it, yeah.
And he came, and it was the dopest time, because it was like, I didn't know what I was going to do in San Diego, and was it in San Diego? San Francisco. That's what it is. And he came out and drove me around and took care of me. And so it's the day of the show, and he's got his fucking dabber, and he's going dab fucking crazy. And I was like, all right, yeah, I'll do a dab with you. But then I was like way too high right before my set. And this is like filmed, you know what I mean? It's my first Comedy Central thing. So I'm like fucking freaking out. My titties are sweating. Like I'm just like really freaking out. And it didn't make it any better because he was so high that he went to the wrong place in the festival. Like I had told him exactly where to go.
And then not only are you high and stressing about
I'm stressing about
filming, but you're also like, where the fuck is my dad?
Bro, I've got Ann Harris in front of me, and I'm just like, hey, I'm just looking for my dad. And she's like, that's so crazy. Like she's just kind of looking at me like, you're just gonna keep walking around and looking for him. I'm like, yeah, all right, until I go on. And so I'm trying to look for him. Then he texts me and says, I'm in the show. And I'm like, great, because I'm about to walk on stage. I don't have time for this anymore. Yeah. I do my set. I come out, and I'm like, where the fuck is he? And I'm looking for him. And when I finally find him, he was in Dina Hashem's show.
He was like, babe, hilarious kid.
Right.
You're so funny.
Right.
So funny.
And what the fucked up part is that, like, yes, my name's Christina, but like a lot of my friends know me by my nickname, which is Bina. And so he was so fucking, out of this world. He had walked in there. Security was like, he's like, I'm looking for my kid. Her name's Christina Bina. And the guy's like, yeah, Dina, right here. And my dad's just sitting there like, why would they spell my baby's name wrong? Like, he's like, Bina, they spelled your name as Dina. I'm like, that's not fucking me.
You're like, he's like, my daughter's dark. I don't know if she's that dark.
Yeah, wow, you straightened your hair and darkened it for this from the time that you walked out of the car till right now. Like,
so
no.
Funny, dude. That's so
really good wax, Really great wax.
That's hysterical. Yeah, my dad thought my career was Jesus Trejos for the longest time. So, he was just like, congrats on the Showtime special. I was like, all right, no. No, it's so funny. So that isn't it so weird to have, because I meeting you and talking to you, it's like, I can already tell, like, your family, like, I feel like our parents would just get along.
Oh, yeah.
And I can very much see that.
Well, anybody's going to get along with my dad. No one's going to get along with my mother.
My
mom. She hates everyone.
My mom.
Love your mom.
Yes. So my mom's the lady that everyone loves, and then it's like me and her hang out, and I'm just like, they don't know you, dog. They don't know the real you.
They don't know you, dog.
Show them the real you. We'll be talking, and she was like doing like it's so hard to not make fun of her for this, because like I'm proud to be Mexican. I'm obviously not as hardcore like stereotypically Mexican as like as like people like assume. Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, you're not in a gang anymore.
Yeah,
you got your
hilarious.
neck tattoos covered up.
People are just like, they're like, you're not that Mexican. I'm like, yeah, it's a whole thing. Anyways, but like my mom, since she's gotten older, she'll walk around. What's the lady who got in trouble for saying she was in Mexico and was like married to like an actor and Alec Baldwin's wife?
Oh,
Oh
okay.
yeah,
Or she was like,
Spanish.
Yeah, she's like, how do you say cucumber? Like my mom's doing that shit all day, and I'm like,
Oh my
you
God.
spoke English I mean, you spoke Spanish, so we're Spanish, but like you have turned this up so much now, and it's the funniest thing. I don't know if it's because she's getting older, but she's like abuela to the max. It is
wow.
hysterical to watch. But
Yeah.
she'll still switch it and like cuss a lady out.
Yeah, bro, she almost stabbed the lady at Los Tacos for calling you baby.
That was hilarious.
So a lady called you baby and your mom almost lost
You
it?
look back, so me and my buddy were there too.
So I took her to one of my
Oh, she was
favorite-
showing out. You had your friends there too? She
So-
was like, watch this.
So it was me and my friends. We went to Los Tacos, which is one of my favorite restaurants. There's a lady who works there who reminds me of my grandmother. She's just super sweet. She always calls me mijo, baby, like just very sweet. Great food, and like we always take care of her. She's been like, we've gone to this restaurant for like almost like 10 years, right?
Wow, yeah.
And first time I brought my mom, so we walk in and right away the lady's like, "Oh, hello, baby," and my mom's like,
Bitch! That's my baby!
yeah. It was so fucking funny. And then like every time she was like, she was like, be nice to us and stuff. My mom was just like, I'll fucking kill you, dude. It was
Yeah,
great.
your mom's like, that's a little too fucking cariño, bitch.
Yeah.
You want to back up?
Yeah, she was like, how does Hannah feel about this? She asked, she was like, how does Hannah feel about her calling you baby? I was like, she calls her Mija. And she was like, oh, Hannah Mija.
Like, that's my daughter, bitch.
Dude, it was great. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Spanish moms are like, they're very territorial.
Yeah.
Like super territorial.
Extremely terrible.
Yeah, so. But my mom goes in and out of that Spanish shit too. Like, I feel like because we're half white, and she's very fucking proud of that, because we're half white, you know, she switches it. Like, she code switches, but in a way that's like awkward. Like, it'll be like, you know, I'm a Puerto Rock. And then the opposite of that is like, these dirty Puerto Ricans everywhere. Dirty Puerto Ricans. I'm like, Mom, you're Puerto Rican. Like, you were born in Puerto Rico. I'm first generation because yous all were born in Puerto Rico. You ain't got a lot to kick it, bitch. You are not that American, and you sure ain't white.
Yeah. But isn't it fun taking those kind of people, those kind of characters, and putting them around like industry people or like show business people?
My mom is like the worst with that kind of stuff.
Dude, me too. So if it was the roast battle, it was like the after party. And I remember we go to the party and I tell my mom, I was like, just so you know, there's like Comedy Central executives. There's like people, you know what I mean? There's important
like
people.
real people.
Yeah. And she was like, all right. And she ended up falling in love with someone's like assistant. She just fell in love with her and was like, you're single, I'm gonna hook you up, blah, blah. And was like introducing her to every guy at the party and stuff. So my mom runs and grabs her because she met a very nice single man that my mom wanted to introduce this assistant to. She runs and grabs her and she's like in a meeting with all these people and she like pulls her out. She's like, sorry guys, pulls her away. And she was like, that's like all the heads of Comedy Central. That's my boss. She was like, oh, I'm sorry. And she runs back. She was like, hi, I'm Frank's mom. I'm just going to steal it for a second. Thanks, guys. And they're like, who the fuck is
What's going on?
What the fuck?
And everyone, I lost my mom for like a good hour at that party. And I remember asking, I was like, has anyone seen my mom? And they're like, yeah, we just ran into her. Everyone kept running into her in the bathroom. And I was like, is she doing coke in the bathroom?
She's selling coke. She's like, you most definitely just lost your job behind me, baby.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
trying to get us some money.
She's like, I haven't made a killing this good since your prom. Oh, what time are we at? Because I want to make sure we get to the second round. Oh, perfect. Let's get to the second round.
Frank, what's the weirdest shit you've ever accidentally eaten?
Eaten?
Yeah, on accident. Just be like, oh fuck, I just ate. Like for me today, I was eating Chipotle, and then I was like, oh, I definitely just ate a mouthful of foil. But didn't realize until after I had swallowed it.
Ooh,
So I was high as fuck, and I was like, oh, gross.
I've done that with a cheesesteak. Because, you know, some cheesesteaks, they wrap with like a fine piece of paper.
Yeah,
So
that thin shit.
When peeling it off and the cheese that's been melted has stuck to it, I swear I've eaten at least like, I remember at the end of like after eating it all, I like was cleaning it and I was like, there's a hole.
There's like a hole in your
And I was
paper.
like, "What the fuck's and I was like, oh shit, I ate that.
Yeah. Have I eaten like packaging? No, I mean, I've bitten into a napkin once or twice and just kind of chewed my way through that. The other night I was like really high and I wanted one of those fucking Stouffer's French bread pizzas. They're like
fire.
cafeteria food for me.
Oh,
you know, like, I
yeah.
love that like nasty ass cafeteria
Red
shit.
Baron's the one.
Yeah. So I put it and then it smelled like it was done, and so I went to get it, and like halfway through I realized it was still cold in the middle, but I just ate that part real fast.
You know what's
So I
so
could just
weird?
get back to the warm part because I didn't want to put it back in there.
I'm one of those people where I was like, if I'm eating it and it's like hot and except it's cold just right in the middle, I'm like, fuck it. Like I've done that with pizza rolls, which is extremely disgusting, and bagel bites.
Oh yeah, but
I do with
it was
those,
pizza. Pizza's nasty cold like
The
that.
Yeah,
breakfast
pizza's kinda
sandwiches.
good. Breakfast
The
sandwiches,
croissant sandwiches, you know what I
hilarious.
mean? And you get in the middle, you're like, oh, fuck.
That's the worst.
I think that's the grossest I've been. Oh, I've eaten.
That's the grossest you've
no,
been.
that's not the grossest I've been. I've eaten. I've absolutely eaten my cat's fucking, not food, but like a cat biscuit, like a dog
Yeah,
treat.
yeah,
Yeah. Because my wife has them in the same Tupperware.
My dad
as
used
other
to
shit.
feed them to me when I was a kid.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
fucked up.
Isn't that abuse?
He's dead now. Nothing to do about that one.
Oh my god.
Fuck.
Oh my.
Yo, one
God.
time I went to this guy's house and he made me some food and he made me a cup of coffee. I was eating my food, I was drinking my coffee, and then I had a sip of coffee and I was like, "What's in my mouth?" And it was a roach because I guess it was in the coffee already. And I was so horrified. I just like never told anybody or did anything. I just like kind of got it out of my mouth and
That's the
Fucking
word.
gnarly,
Yeah.
it
You're
was
just,
yeah, it was really.
you're like, hey
disgusting.
man, your apartment fucking sucks.
I was like, "Hey, get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
They're inside me now."
Oh man, I watched did you watch Your Mom's House?
I don't know what's that.
It's a podcast with Tom Skerr, Christina Pazitsky. They do a show. They do the live version, and in the live version they have a thing called the heavy segment, where they just show like fucked up videos from the internet. And one of them was I don't want to talk about it now. It was a cockroaches coming out of orifices, and it was bad.
Oh God, that
Yeah,
sounds
yeah.
so bad.
But
and
not like
nasty.
small ones, but like big ones. It was terrible.
That's
and
like
my
my worst
wo-
nightmare.
My wife didn't flinch. Shit like that. She was like, was none, but like saliva and blood gets her. No, wait, not saliva, just blood. Blood gets her, but everything else, she had to work in like the psych ward with like people who had like bulimia and stuff. So she was like, after watching people puke and shit, she was like, that's nothing to me.
Oh, I hate looking at puke. That's really.
I can't. If anyone starts to gag,
Yeah, that's nasty.
it's over for me.
As I've gotten older, I've become more sensitive to it.
But you know it's weird. If I have like an upset stomach, or if I can tell I'm getting food poisoning or something, I'll immediately just go to the bathroom and just fucking crank that out.
Oh, I definitely crank that soldier boy. If I need to throw up, like I'm good for these nails or not. I don't give a fuck. I will definitely stick my fingers down my throat and get the job done. Sometimes I do it too much. Like one time we were drinking at home, and then
You're like, I want to keep drinking.
yeah, I got so drunk. I got so drunk, and you know when you're the kind of drunk where you're like, I got this. I'm just gonna stop being drunk because I'm gonna go throw up the drinks I just had so I can drink more drinks, which doesn't even make any fucking sense. So then I tried to do that and it wasn't working. So then I was like, oh, let me just get in the shower with all my clothes on and continue to try to make myself throw up. And somewhere between being in the shower with my fingers down my throat and blacking out, you know what I mean? I just like forgot I was trying to make myself throw up and kind of like thought I was deep throating dick for a minute. Like kind of being like, damn girl, you are deep throating that thing. Look at it, it's down your throat. Like, but it was my fingers.
I've gotten that drunk and did that with my asshole before. It was an awkward 33rd birthday.
Have you ever gotten so drunk that you
was 2 weeks ago.
accidentally on purpose drink the toilet water?
Oh,
No, I can't say that I have.
There was one time where I did have to be stopped like a fucking golden retriever. I was just so tired from throwing up and I was just so thirsty.
oh, that actually kind of makes sense. You're so fucked up, you're throwing me up, and you're just trying to wash your mouth out, and then you're like, oh, there's water right here, fuck it.
Yeah, and I hadn't
Man.
thrown up in that water. I had just flushed it, and it's.
You're like, it's a clean flush.
I was like,
baby."
this is clean. This is clean. Good clean water.
Man, no. When I would get fucked up, I wouldn't do. And I only blacked out, like, I don't think I've ever like blacked out, but I remember getting like super fucked up to the point where like I was just doing dumb shit and making stupid decisions, like
Yeah.
food and like eating to the point where I'd throw up or just like passing out in random places. And like I remember I woke up under my friend's table. I passed out in glass once at like at this restaurant I worked at. Yeah, just dumb shit. Yeah, yeah. Ah, God, being in your 20s and drinking, they really gotta fucking. Yeah. Remember Four Locals? Four Locals.
Locals?
I
Four Locals?
never, I never
You
had
never?
them before. They scared the shit out of me.
Weird.
Anything that's like so big like that too, like it's like fucking
That
big.
wrecked
It's just straight
lives.
sugar. It makes me so sick.
All right, what's this
I had
last
one fucking a couple weeks ago.
Really? Not the original
Not
one.
the original one.
The original ones are like.
I had a nostalgia blast, and we were going through a liquor
Ah.
store, and I was like, "Four Local Gold." Let me tell you, I've never been so fucking sick. This one's gonna be a new one for us. It's the grape animal. It's a grape pie and animal cookies. This one actually huge fan of the grape pie, so it's gonna be a lot more of those kind of candy terps. This one's gonna be a lot more berry or grape forward as opposed to that last one that was more tropical fruit. It's gonna be a lot of that kind of grape flavor, but then there's gonna be kind of this like traditional like Girl Scout cookies, kind of green plant material diesel flavor as well. So it's gonna be nice, super sweet candy, grapey, and then it'll finish with that kind of like very planty, but also kind of gassy finish. And I noticed the mouthfeel in that one is almost like instead of being like thick and like creamy, it's more like almost chalky.
That mouthfeel.
That mouthfeel.
God, I love smoking weed.
Me too.
Also do that nice like indica dominant hybrid, super relaxing. You'll feel your muscles kind of start to retract and your kind of head go down.
Ooh, yeah, I'm so relaxed. I couldn't Kegel if I wanted to.
I can't wait to see you pull out of that parking spot.
Oh God. I'm not even gonna. I'm gonna have to. I'm just getting so
Uber
sweaty
home.
thinking about that right now.
Just gonna
I'm
leave
getting
the car
so
here.
sweaty thinking about getting out of that parking
And it
space.
was so funny because I remember like I was watching it go down, and it was one of those things of like
Immediately, I pulled too close to that first car. I already
it was
was
so
like,
funny. But also like I never when my wife, it was one of those things of like it was like if because when my wife does that shit, I remember I was just like I would let her do it because if I'd ask, she'd get mad at me. So I let her do it, and then one time
so you'd sit in the car for 25 minutes.
yeah,
While
and
we-
just husband
That was
it
gonna
up.
take me a minute. I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you right now.
But I remember I looked at her one time after she parked, and I was like, "Oh," I walked out, and this is where I fucked up. She had which was a fucked up parking job, and I walked out, and I go, "Oh, do you want me to?" And right when I said, "Do you want me to?" she already was looking at me sideways, and I go, "Park it better," and then she just looked at me, and I go, "My bad." Oh, I was like, "Do you want me to park it better?" And it was just like, you're an asshole," and I was like,
You're like, you're a foot and a half away from the curb.
She is.
Yeah, I know, I hate that shit.
Although I have come home after stand up and being fucking ripped, and then
You like park the wrong way and shit.
no, but I parked like a foot and a half away from the curb, and I was like,
Yeah.
and Hannah like walked out, and she was like, "What happened?" I was like, "Oh,
Look how they got your catalytic converter, Frank.
anyways, yeah,
Yeah, that's gonna be a whole thing. Getting out of that parking
Oh.
space.
absolutely." Oh, what are we at? Perfect, 5 minutes. We'll do one more question, but before we do, anything you want to plug?
Oh, watch my new Comedy Central feature on YouTube. I'm all about mental health. Where I talk some more shit about my mom. She really hates those jokes. So
Does your
go-
mom hate the jokes about your stand up?
I thought she was gonna be. I think I thought
out
she
of
was gonna be like excited that I was talking about her, but then the way that other people are kind of using it against her, you know what I'm saying? Like throwing it in her face. I think that's where it turned.
Hilarious.
But
This is what my wife says. She was like, she was like, these are people that are involved in your life, and it's like, you shouldn't have to hold back on any of the jokes you make.
right, I'm like, is she saying that she didn't give us Tampico? Is
Yeah,
that-
yeah.
What
Don't
did
joke
you
about
say?
that.
What are you saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
are
it
you
was like-
saying that shit didn't happen?
Yeah, because it did. I was
I'm
like,
just saying my story because it happened to me.
yeah, 100%.
Like,
Yeah, that's the thing she always preaches with like psychology was like, you shouldn't not tell your story because of other people's feelings.
right.
If it's the truth and it happened to you. I was like, yeah, absolutely.
So
You hear that past? No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, that was the last joke or last question.
Would you go as far as to shit in your significant other's bed if they were in an argument with you?
Well, seeing as oh God,
Seeing as you have, I'm just kidding.
and we weren't even in an argument. I drunkenly pissed in our bed. I drunkenly pissed in our bed once, and then the other time I had a dream that I was pissing, and then I woke up and was
Those
like,
will get
"Oh
you.
fuck!" Yeah, I was at a baseball stadium, and it was the ninth inning, and they just hit a home run, and I was like trying to pee, and I just couldn't do it, and I forced myself. And the second that I released it, I woke up and was like, "What the fuck?" And it was a whole problem. Still
Yeah.
makes fun of me. And then I'm not gonna talk about whether or not I've shit the bed. We'll let that just kind of be a thing.
Yes.
I've never shit the bed.
You've never shit the
But
bed?
would you shit in someone's bed if they pissed you off?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah. That was the question for you.
Yeah.
Shit in their bed, but it would depend if I still lived in that house, though.
No.
I'm just going to their house to shit in their bed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could pass through Taco Bell and Chick-fil-A. By the time I get there, get like an iced
Get
coffee
ready.
or something, smoke a cigarette. I could make some shit on a bed, sure.
Yeah.
I could do that.
Hell yeah.
Would it be like my first go-to? No, but I could do that. And yes, I've pissed the bed before. But that was like also drunk and, you know what I mean?
I think those are forgiven.
It happens. I feel like with those dreams though, where it's like you are having to pee in the dream, like that's it, the first sign that you're about to pee the bed.
Yeah.
Or like early in the morning when it's like your dream gets weird and now you're fucking your sister or something weird's happening. It's like, wake up, you're not horny, you gotta pee. Like those are that's when I'm like, yeah, that's like a pee-pee thing. Get
So
up,
you're like
girl.
fucking your sister and you're about to come and then it's just piss and you're like, what? And then you wake
Then
up
I
and you're like,
I
"I'm
wake up and
peeing
I'm
the
like,
bed."
I thought I wanted to fuck my sister, but I just had to go pee-pee.
Thank God. Ain't that the truth? Thank you so much for coming.
Thank
It
you
was
so
a lot
much
of
for
fun.
having me.
I'm
This
glad you
was
have
so dope.
you just baked.
Yeah, I'm like super baked.
Yep, this is an
Smack
easy show,
fucking
dog.
Fried rice.
Thank you, PUFFCO. Thank you, Punch X-Rex. Thank you, Sumo Snacks. Thank you, HIFI Hops. Thank you, Keith. Thank you. Who am I forgetting?
God. Thank you,
ABX,
God.
Absolute Abstracts. The huge signs we have. Peak. Thank you, Third Wheel Studios. Thank you. Have a good night, guys. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Peace.